hello. I want to talk about a Chinese pen. So I bought this one a few months ago, and honestly, it's been sitting. I've been busy with my own life, but recent news events got me thinking, I got to try this thing out. And I remembered why I was curious about it in the first place. So this is the Majohn A3. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll come back because I have a few features I want to talk about. All right, so this is a Majohn. It arrives in a fairly standard box. Open it up. We've got a little bit of literature. Nothing too exciting there. And then we have a cartridge. I guess an empty cartridge. Ooh. Okay. Not expecting this, so let me open this up. Get to the pen! Sorry, I'm curious what this is. So we got an eyedropper. This, by golly, that's a refillable cartridge. Color me amazed. I'm keeping that upstairs. I may use that. Whoops. And I just tossed a bottle of ink on the floor, but it didn't break, so we're okay. And then we have a pilot-style converter. So they're definitely going the pilot route here. Pull out the pen. And we have the Majohn with a clip in the middle. Okay, so looking inside, that's one of the features I'm kind of curious about. So click it down, and then it goes back up gently. Click. Gentle. Click. Gentle. Close up. Click. Gentle. Click. Gentle. Okay. So I was curious about that mechanism. That's actually why I bought this, because Pilot has introduced a similar mechanism. The clip, I heard this as a criticism that the clip is in the middle, and it is. But whoever told me that neglected to mention that it is removable. Which, after I prove what a sucky clip it is, because of its weird position, I'll be removing it. Open it up. We have a shield designed for the cartridge, much like Pilot does, but we're going to do the converter. So, fancy Japanese ink like this, fancy Japanese pen that's not Japanese, wow. Fancy Chinese pen like this, let's put a fancy French ink into it. Okay, the ink is getting low, so I got to tip it on its side. Whoops, almost had quite a dramatic spill here. So first fill, I see nothing. I do hear bubbling. Second fill, nothing. Third fill, nothing. Okay. Tip it upside down. Yeah, there's ink in it. Okay. One advantage of this over the Pilot equivalent converter may be that it doesn't have those little beads in it. Alright, so like I said, clip is in the middle. Not a problem for writing. I kind of like, I almost think it's a plastic body, but I'm not sure. This bit's plastic. The garage door that's in here, let's see if we can zoom in on it. Well, we can, but it's not very well lit. Oh. Didn't even think to check this. I can't sticky out yet. Alright, let's just put this above it. There we go. Okay. Enough playing. Get to work. So, like all my first impressions, we'll do it in this black and red notebook. Right, so this is the Majohn A3. The ink in it is Parker Quink. Washable blue. I think I can zoom it a little bit more. All right, the flex on this nib, I can coax a little line variation out of it. I won't call it a scratchy nib because it's not, but it definitely has resistance as I glide it across the paper. Wetness and flow. Not bad. Smear test. You know, with as fine a nib as this is, I'm not expecting much smearing, but that was disappointing. Honestly, if I decide I like this pen, I'm going to put a pilot nib in it. A wider one. Smear test. Reverse writing. I don't know why you would with this pen, but what the hey. Verging on scratchy, but still not scratchy, but definitely an extra fine. And finally, the world famous Pierre Gustafson test. So there was some skipping there, but I'm wondering if it's my fault, so I'm going to try that again. Yeah, I kind of thought I got off angle, and I'm pretty sure I did. So, comfortable in the hand, clip's not in the way, and I'm going to be even happier when the clip goes away. And fun feature that I noticed, okay, there's a little nub in here to line up the clip. So it's in place properly, which it wasn't for most of that writing sample. And it has this, which serves the extra function, if the clip is removed, of preventing it rolling too much. So some thoughtful touches on this pen. I can't wait to do the pocket test and see if I actually like this or not. But I am heavily biased toward no. So that was the Majohn A3. As I've used it, you know, it's kind of a heavy-ish pen, a little weighted toward the back, which it's okay. It works with my hand. I not super thrilled with the feel of the nib, but I can put on a much nicer pilot nib, so I'm okay with that. I probably will. It fits with all pilot parts, so I can get the Majohn body with the pilot parts if I want to. I kind of enjoy the mechanism. You know, doesn't have the satisfying click of a pilot vanishing point, but on the other hand, the gentle retraction is kind of fun. I believe the pilot version was designed that way to be less disruptive during a meeting than... Oh, I thought I got the pilot out. Did not get the pilot out. So we'll grab the nearest convenient 4H free ballpoint. You know people that do that during meetings. So yeah, it should be less annoying than that. I think this succeeded. I'm not sure how original the engineering in this design is compared to the pilot. That's a story for another video. But I will say, I think they did a decent job, but it looks like it needed a little more time in the design shop because the fit and finish isn't there. Like, I think the gap up here between the retraction twisty thing, does it have a name? And the pen body just looks weird. I do like the little bit that's around the nib, where the nib comes out. I think that worked well. The gap in the middle looks kind of strange, but if I take the clip off, that still looks strange. I don't know why it's like that. But speaking of the clip, one of the things... Let's get the clip back on. There we go. One of the things that I wondered about is this clip in the middle. It's out of the way when I write. I like that. But then, why do I have a clip? Well, to clip it on things. Probably my shirt. I guess I could clip it in a notebook. I've never thought about clipping a pen in a notebook, but it's not a thing I do. But let's just take a look at my shirt. I have this lovely Waterman Exception here. Fits discreetly in my pocket, and it's there to be quickly deployed when I'm ready to write. So let's start this guy in. Oh! Let's put it on a yellow part of my shirt. We're not going to be discreet. We're going to poke up about an inch. Inch and a half, maybe. About 3 centimeters above the level of the shirt pocket. Not bad. Not ideal. I did worry, because the push button is down, that might accidentally get activated somehow, and then we got blue writing on my shirt, but it rides high enough above my pocket that I'm not too worried about it. And I won't say it takes a lot of muscle, but it takes some muscle to push that button in, so I'm not worried about that happening. But I'm glad I can just take the clip and go boink and have a decent retractable one I really don't care about, so I can just toss it in my pocket. It's interesting the Majohn put their signature on it. That's a new thing I haven't seen on other Majohn pens that I've reviewed. On the whole, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I tried it. I think I'll like it better, like I said, with some pilot nibs. I haven't had drying out issues. It seems to be well made. It's just when you look at the details, like the fit and finish isn't quite there. I worried about the trapdoor because it didn't look like it quite fit right, but I haven't had trouble with the pen drying out, so what do I know? I did think it was a nice touch that you've got a little deeble-dauber here for the clip to line up on. But what a weird place to line it up. On the whole, I think the black pen is sufficiently stealthy to appeal to me. And, without the clip there... Oh! Before I say that, let me just put the clip back on for a minute. Because what did I just think? Oh, and I suppose I could put the clip on either way, couldn't I? So I could have the clip writing this way. But anyway, what I wanted to see... Okay, yeah. So if I have the clip on the pen where its little deeble-dauber is supposed to line it up, the clip is under the pen. Good, bad, don't know. Also, if I'm holding it correctly, so I'm writing along, and I undo it, It is actually the unclicking mechanism is at the appropriate place when I'm writing with it. So I can just be writing, reach up with my thumb. It's more of a process than that. My pilot vanishing point, I can click, write, click. So it's a little more motion than the pilot vanishing point. But for the price I paid, I'm glad I bought it. If import tariff prices come to be true, no, not worth it. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching. And again, feel free to buy it and think, I'm going to get me one of them goddamn pilot nibs, because they're better. So, want to thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.